I'm Gordon Brodecki, and I'm into fitness. Why fitness? Honestly, I think it chose me. When I was younger, I used to watch The Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno with my mother. And I used to run around the house and pretend like I was breaking stuff. I would throw things down, because in the show, he would always be breaking things when he turns to The Incredible Hulk. And what I really liked about The Incredible Hulk is he had two different personalities. He had this calm side to him. And then when you pissed him off, he would become something of a force. When I was younger, I was small, and I wouldn't say I got picked on, but when you're small, you're challenged by the bigger kids. You have to stand up for yourself. I used to wrestle a lot with them in the schoolyard. And I remember my brother one day brought a weight set home. I was 13 years old. And the weight set was the bench press, much like this right here. And I saw it, and he was working out, he was built, and I was like, wow, that's how Lou Ferrigno got there, and it just clicked for me. And I remember to start messing around with the bench press. I stayed with it. I really loved it. I started buying books on it. One book you might have heard of, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding. One of my favorite books. I read it from front to back probably about 100 times. And I started adopting his routines. The thing was, his routines were really made for me. I noticed that over time. I was a hard gainer, I was small. So over time, I started adapting different routines. I started buying different books on hard gainers, books in the back of magazines. And they don't have the internet that they do today, so you just can't go on YouTube or Instagram and watch somebody and learn from them. You had to figure it out all on your own. But then I started creating my own programs, and that's when I really dove into the fitness. I just fell in love with it. Like I said, I think it found me. I wanted to be the strongest person in the world at one point, and I kept going towards that goal. I eventually got into powerlifting for 2 years. At the age of, I guess, I'd say about 17, 18. I was pretty strong after high school, and I was built about 147. I was bench pressing 275, squat number 4. But then, after that, I just dove into powerlifting. And right around that time, one of my brothers passed away. So I remember thinking he died from a drug overdose, a heroin overdose. And at that time, I really dove into the powerlifting world, and it was just something to really focus on. I remember reading this book by Dorian Yates, and if you don't know what Dorian Yates is, he's a professional bodybuilder back in the day. And his mindset was so sick, I adopted his mindset. And one of the things he said was every time before he went into the gym, he would visualize the workout before he did it. So I used to sit there and visualize every workout before I walked into the gym. I felt like that it put me in the moment every single time. And I've noticed that actually works really well for a lot of things in life when you do that. When you visualize where you want to be in your fitness, where you want to be with relationships, with your friendships, when you start visualizing and you see that out there, and then you know that you can get there just by taking one step further. Every day you take one step. Every day you take one step. And it's not going to be perfect. I realized that through failure, through weight training, you fail, right? You work out and you fail. And then you come back and you do it again. And you come back and do it again. And you come back and do it again. And then you come back and do it again. So I adopted that same mindset when it came to everything. Visualization, take one step forward, fail, do it again. I help thousands of people get to their goals. I've done that successfully. Now I got a new target, and that's to help other trainers do exactly what I did out of the backyard in their garage. And I'm going to teach them to do that. I realized when people start coming up to me, asking me questions, I used to walk in there and I would just do these hardcore workouts and people just looking at me and they'd be like, what do you do? Like, tell me your secret, what do you do? So I started doing that and just doing it for fun. I said to myself, I I want to do this for a living. What can I do in the fitness industry to make this my living? And I remember my dad telling me, you're wasting your time lifting all these weights. He didn't see a future in it, right? He didn't see no future in it. I wanted to find a way, so I found a way. So I went down the street on Bristol Road in the Chamonix Mall, right down the street. There was this little place, and at the time it was called Elite Fitness. And the owner, his name was Lou. And Lou wasn't looking for any employees, but I wanted to work in the fitness industry, so I just walked up to Lou and I said I wanted a job, and he told me what's so special. He asked me what's so special about you, and then he turned me away. And I called up and I went again. Same thing. I called up I went in a third time, and he was like, you got the job. All right, you got the job. And all it was the front desk. I would take any of the, just check them in. I'm signing up memberships. I was doing that, and I'll clean the gym. I mean, the whole gym, the bathroom and everything. Yeah, we do all stuff like that. And then one day, I decided to myself, let's try personal training. I'm going to walk up to somebody. I'm just going to talk to them and ask them if they need help or they can up. And I did. And I started getting these clients, and I made up these prices in my head. I had a decent amount of clients there. Eventually, Lou saw this, and he didn't care because I was bringing business in, and he just let that ride. And the new owners that actually ended up buying the business off of Lou, what they did, they kept me on for a little bit, but then they couldn't pay me. A friend of his, the owner, would come to the gym all the time, and this dude got kind of chummy from him coming to the gym, and he offered me a job as an environmental technician. And if you don't know what that is, I don't really know either. I was exhausted all the time, and I said, you know what? This sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. After 2 months, I was like done with it. So I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to go back into personal training. And I had my certification of American Counseling of Exercise, a qualified accredited certification. I walked into Valley Total Fitness, and I got the job. Sometimes you got to do the things that you don't love to find the things that you do love. So I did that for 10 years. But then things started changing. There was a 2008 crash. I remember seeing barely anybody in the gym, but I was still somehow staying afloat. And I'm thinking, at that point, I'm thinking to myself, like, I really should open my own business. But I didn't have the balls to do it. We had this thing called PT director. He directed all the PTs, and then that's how they, hand off clients, or they go with their own clients. He just managed everybody. He sent me a message. Valley Total Fitness just got bought out by LA Fitness. Well, what's that mean to me? What's that mean to anybody? Well, I went from making $40 commission an hour to making, what was it? I think it was $6 a half hour. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I also bought a house. I was on contract, ready to sign to buy a house, and raising a daughter. And quickly I thought to myself, I could start training on the side and do my own thing. So I started training on the side at my brother's house, because I was remodeling the house that I bought. So I lived there for about a year. And we turned the garage into a fully usable gym. And joking around, he said, this Garage Fitness. And I remember thinking to myself, yep, that's what I'm going to be called. That's what I call myself. You got to commit fully into what you're doing. If you don't commit, you're just going to be wishy-washy, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's not a bad place to be. And having a fall, like all these people always talk about having a backup plan. Yeah, do I have a plan if something did happen? Kind of, but I don't want to look at it that way. I think of it like, this is the plan, and it's the only plan I have right now. And now I'm going to make this work. Why should anybody train with me? Why would they want my advice? Why would they want to train with me? Well, number one is I have a fantastic track record of success with people and losing weight, building muscle. Like when I trained fitness competitors, they were getting first and second. Then when people wanted to lose weight, I've also, in that arena, I helped them out. If somebody wants to come train with me, they're gonna see results, that's what. Success in training a client is when they didn't even see it themselves, and then you took them to a place and they look back and I show them a picture. They show them where their strength's at compared to what they were before, measurements, whatever it is, and they look back and then they had to smile from ear to ear. That's what success is. Watching that big smile on their face. It's really about creating habits and creating small little habits that last a lifetime, because that's how it works. They did a study where it was a college campus and they just had a camera on it, and they noticed that people were going in and coming out of their cars and putting their backpacks over the same shoulder, everything. It was like scary to the point where they look like robots, right? You see the same thing. So why not do that and create your own habits? People are like, oh, it's brainwashing. Yeah, it definitely is. But you're brainwashing yourself in a healthy way. So you're making those small little changes. And actually, in my book, I wrote this book called Unleash the Ultimate You, Change Your Mindset, Change Your Body, and now it became a bestseller. And in that book, I explain it in detail of why small changes are the most important things. Garage Fitness is a place you can come, you can call home. Garage Fitness is a place you can come and feel comfortable. Garage Fitness is a place you can come and create growth for yourself. Not just your body, but also your mind. My mission now with Garage Fitness, what I realized as time went on is this could be a lot bigger than it is. Garage Fitness can be a lot bigger than it is. And the mission now is to teach other trainers who would love to walk out of their backyard, walk 10 feet or whatever it is, or in their house, and have a fully usable gym that they could train people out of and call home. You are your own boss, nobody's telling you what to do. You can literally work 25 to 30 hours a week and make what a doctor makes. My mission is to teach other trainers across the United States, and they're going to teach everybody that wants to, any trainer that wants that. I'm going to teach that and then help them build out their brand. And I'm going to license it out to anybody who wants Garage Fitness. And that's what my mission is. My mission is to help them and then build them up. I'm Gordon Verdecki, and I believe in fitness.